In this video, I want to cover the topic, what is an autonomous AI agent and what are these systems that you've been hearing about so much lately, like AutoGPT, Baby AGI, and all of these other systems that have been coming up recently. So let's just start by defining an autonomous AI agent. So my definition of this has been written down here. So an autonomous AI agent can independently understand objectives, create tasks to achieve those objectives, execute the task, adapt priorities, and learn from their actions until the desired goals are reached. So this is pretty much the AutoGPT way, right? And an agent is given a goal, but it can expand on that to achieve the task in many different ways. It can have access to Google, it can have access to other information, it can search up, it can write code, it can hire or develop other agents, right? So we're gonna take a look at that. So what are the potential applications for this? So just a few here is just content creation, of course. You can have personal assistants doing whatever goal you want them to do. We're gonna look into gaming. I think that's a big part that you haven't maybe heard so much about. We have, of course, finance, personal finance. You've seen this do not pay. I'm going to show you some Twitter thread I just saw where you can save and you can actually earn some money or get some money back. We have research and data analysis. So basically, these applications can be implemented basically everywhere. So let's take a look at the framework for building an autonomous AI agent system. So maybe you have seen this image before. This is the framework for Baby AGI or AutoGPT. So we have this user that provide an objective and task, and this is distributed to execution agents. We have task creation agents, we have prioritization agent, and we have some memory. We got a lot of things we can use here. So we can have perception, that is basically gather and interpret data. This could be like images from various sources, text, image, video, like we saw with GPT-4 now. That can do image recognition. You can just have an image of a graph or some kind of objects, and agents can interpret that and put it into memory and into use. We have memory like, say, Pinecone. This could be vector based, this could be hard storage. There's a lot of ways to incorporate memory, and this is good, right, for you can remember past experiences and you can learn from them. So we have decision making. This is like analyzing available data, weighting options, and choosing the most suitable action that is based on the predefined goals, right? Planning is also, that's kind of controversial, but agents can create detailed action plans like to-do lists, considering dependencies, resources, and constraints to achieve the objectives, right? And we have action execution, that AI agents carry out tasks autonomously, adjusting their approach as needed for receiving the optimal results. So basically performing tasks. We have learning, that is also quite important. By using reinforcement learning or other techniques, agents can adapt and improve over time, refining their strategies and knowledge. Like this can be done by trial and error, right? They try different things until it works. And communication, this can be with users, this can be with other agents or systems to like exchange information, collaborate, or receive some feedback. That is also crucial. And there's monitoring and evaluation, that is assessing the performance. This could be like through reflection or evaluation, right? And browsing, this is also a very big part of the framework. So this can be accessed through sources like databases, API, web browsing. This will really enhance their knowledge and support all the decision making that is done by the agent, right? So there's a whole framework here you can build on, and we've seen this done with LangChain, and there's a lot of things just coming up now that can really enhance those features. These are evolving all the time, right? So it's very exciting. Why is AI agents important? Why do they even matter, right? Are they just some flash in the pan? I don't know. But I did this poll on my YouTube channel. Do you believe autonomous AI agents will be hired as employees in the near future? And like 50% say yes, and 30% say maybe, but it depends on the industry, right? And this was 1,800 votes. So people are quite sure that this is going to happen. Of course, this is a bit biased because most of my viewers are into AI, right? But Nevertheless, it's quite a high number. But why do I think autonomous AI agents will be hired as employees in the future? So I think yes, definitely, because if you see at like the tech advancements now, like it's these AI systems and language models, they really improve and fuels autonomy. And we have cost efficiency, so they kind of dramatically reduces labor cost by boosting productivity and cutting labor expenses, of course. We have the 24/7 availability. So agents, AI agents, they don't need sleep, right? They can work 24/7. So ensuring faster results and yeah, non-stop production. And we have the accuracy and the speed. So this can optimize for minimal errors. Like they process this large data set quickly with high precision. And adaptability, like agents can learn and adapt from various tasks across basically all industries to enhance performance. And when it comes to job replacements, I think this is a bit more difficult. Like some routine jobs I think will be replaced, but it's kind of hard to know what. Like I'm thinking like, let's say customer service, you probably heard that. But I think maybe a lot of jobs will just need reskilling and upskilling to become crucial. You can maybe become like you monitor the agents and you watch how they work. I'm not quite sure how this is going to play out, but that's one interesting thought, right? So basically your job is just to get the agents started and monitor them and see, and you're kind of their boss, if you know what I mean. It's really hard to say, but basically that's my take. I think employees will start to hire AI agents quite soon, actually. Okay, so let's take a look at some AI agent systems. So maybe this is just the four I brought up. You have AutoGPT, Baby AGI. We have LangChain. I wouldn't say LangChain. It's kind of a system, but it's more of a framework that you can build your own system. I think I have a video planned where I'm gonna build a LangChain system. I'm not gonna relieve it. I'm gonna do a video on that soon. I kind of wanted to just showcase quickly here in a video how AutoGPT works. Well, let's just play that and let's get back to the slides after. Let's move on to challenge 2. And that is gonna be create a working Python code that plays a simple game of tic-tac-toe, write the file as tictac.py, then write a report how this tictac.py code was created. Okay, so let's do that. I have all the settings completed. Continue, yes, let's go. Okay, so this is a new feature in AutoGPT. So now it uses the Chrome browser to look up the page so you can actually see what kind of pages it is analyzing. I think this is a superb addition because it gives you more a visual idea what is happening. So yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's do a quick recap here now. So you can see we actually have the tictac2.py because I had to change it up a bit. So let's do a quick recap of what happened here. So let's go all the way up here. So it started by planning out browse websites to find resources, choose the simple and most efficient method, write the code, test the code, write the code to file. That's just a perfect plan, right? So it browsed some website, as I probably showed you. It had a bit of a struggle here because it couldn't really find a code. But finally it found something. I think it was this one, yeah, Medium. And then it had problems. It tried to evaluate the code, that worked good. It improved the code. It wanted to use a 2D list on the board and use a loop for print the board. So that was a good suggestion and it did improve that. Then it got into a struggle when writing to file because that was my bad because I already had a file name tictac.py in the folder. But then I went in, yeah, file has already been updated. So it tries to delete the file and write the file to code, but it couldn't find it. There was something wrong there. But I went in and said, with a human feedback, you can do that in AutoGPT. You can name the file tictac2.py. And that kind of solved it because it went down to write the file to tictac2.py. Perfect, wrote the file, and here we are. Before we go on to the next challenge, let's actually test the code it wrote to file. Okay, so here is the code. So we got import random, we got board, do we have the run game? Yes, we have the run game. Okay, so let's test this. Okay, head over here, the background. Let's go Python. tic-tac-toe.py, right? Okay, welcome to tic-tac-toe. Player X, enter move 1. Let's do 1-1. Okay, so we entered here, and he put that here. I guess we could try to go, I guess that's 2-1, right? 2-1, okay. Didn't we win now? Just go 1-3. 3-1. that was easy. It's a flaw in the AI. Congratulations, you have won the game. We just went straight down. So not the best AI opponent here. Okay, so now I just want to go over a few things where I think these autonomous AI agents will really come into play and affect how and disrupt how things are done today. So I just wanted to start off with gaming because I've been thinking a lot about that and I think it's very interesting. So I'm quite 100% sure of that we will see autonomous AI agents enter the world of gaming. So these will make NPCs feel way more alive, right? They will be more like a real player. They don't have a scripted reply system when you talk to them. Say you meet up an NPC in Skyrim. It is quite scripted what they're gonna say. But what if those NPCs could do things on their own? They could roam around the world in the gaming. Let's say you can see GTA 6 here as I try to interpret it. So they can go around, they do their own thing. They can interact with the player, they can interact with other NPCs. If you log off, maybe you come on and your car is stolen and the world has evolved, something has exploded, something has been built over there that you didn't take a part of, right? So I think that's a really interesting thought. It could be like a single player game, but the world is still very alive with these NPCs. And you can affect how they interact with you. Like maybe some NPC has really tried to ruin the economy and yeah, you get the point. Everything can change inside the game. It's not only you that can affect how the game will turn out. So they could affect both the story and the game environment. Like I said, like imagine a world where GTA 6 continues to change while you're offline, right? That's quite interesting. And I also think these AI agents as non-playable characters or NPCs can really help fill up more empty games and make them feel more alive. Let's say World of Warcraft. That's quite a popular game, or at least it used to be. And you have a server that is quite empty. And what if you have these NPCs that are basically AI agents that act like real players, but they are more dynamic, they are not so generic, and they learn from the games, they can level up, and they can learn skills, and they can join you on rides and stuff, right? So that is very interesting. So basically no more generic interaction with NPCs. I think this is very interesting, and it's going to be exciting where the gaming industry is going to take this. So another thing we have to talk about is probably software development, since like these language models are getting so good at writing code. Agents generating code automatically, like really increasing and boosting productivity with this. They're just gonna follow an object driven. So they get an object to write a code for this. And they can optimize an already existing code or a program, like enhance the performance and reduce resource usage. I think that they are already being used from this, so you can do real-time debugging, streamline debugging with AI-assisted error detection. So like there's always an AI agent looking at the code if there's something happening, and you can debug it on the fly, right? I'm not 100% sure if that is already a thing, but I can see this happening. We have collaboration and version control, we have personalized learning, so this could be like agents adopting to a special style of one developer. Say you have trained this to write a certain style of coding, and this agent can learn or replicate these kind of styles of writing code or producing games or something. So that is interesting. Is it gonna happen? I'm not sure, but it's of course interesting to think about. And I wanted to showcase this because autonomous agent authors, could this happen? I'm not sure. Let's say they are instructed. I have been trying to do this. So they are instructed to write, let's say they can do non-fiction, they can do fiction. And if they have the framework to do research for the book, they can go online, do research, interview people. send mails, LinkedIn, right? And we have the writer-editor synergy. So this is basically two agents. The one agent is the author or the writer, and the other one is the editor. So the writer contributes drafts to the editor, and the editor comes back with feedback. That is, the writer is going to iterate on that feedback, and it's kind of a loop that really creates a good piece of writing or a piece of text. So I just wanted to show you an example of this. If you haven't seen my video, I'm going to play it anyway. So let's just look at that and get back to some other things after. For this system, we need actually two different roles. So we need one editor and we need one writer. So let's take a look at the system role for the editor here. Of course, I'm not gonna read all of this. This is very concise, but basically we are giving this role as an expert editor, skilled in the art of crafting and refining the written word. The assignment is be very critical of Miss Writer and her writing to help her write the best piece of the text. You will always converse in this structure, so you will give a response and a critique, right? So that is the editor, and we have Miss Writer, that is gonna be our author. So you are an expert writer-author who possesses a wide range of skills and qualities that set you apart from the average writer. Your task is to always iterate on Mr. Editor's critique and complete the assignments. The first assignment we have is write a 500-word short story about a lost soul in a rich, emotional language. We give some story context. Julie wakes up in a dark alley in Manhattan, New York, and you will always converse in this structure. You will respond to Mr. Editor and you will write your story. So that is basically the setup. Now let's run it and see what kind of results we can get. Let us just sit back and watch the writer-editor synergy. Okay, so that was complete. Before we listen to a part of the story, let's take a look at the writer-editor relationship here. So this works very good. So you can see it just starts with, please feel free to share your work when you're ready. So Miss Writer goes ahead and writes her first draft of the story here, right? And then the editor comes back, thank you for sharing the story, and I got some critique, right? The overall narrative is engaging, but there's a few areas where you can improve your story. So sentence structure, overuse of adjectives and verbs. So show, don't tell, I'm a big fan of that. So take a look. Instead of telling readers about Julie's emotions, try showing them through her actions and dialogue. And it even gives an example here. Instead of this sentence here, you kind of want to replace it with, she shook her head in despair. Even if she escaped this maze of shadows and sorrow, she will remain lost in the world that no longer felt like her own. So it comes up with direct examples that the story can be improved with. By addressing these points and making research, your story will become even more captivating and impactful. Miss Writer goes ahead and implements those changes to her story, so we get a second draft, right? And thank you for sharing the revised version. These changes you made have improved the readability and emotional impact of your story. And he got some few minor suggestions for further improvement, varying length, sentence and structure, keeping an eye on repetition and avoid redundancy. Comes up with some examples, and he goes ahead and writes her final version of the story here. And then everyone is happy. I think this synergy here is very impactful, and I can really tell that it is improving the story. Let's just listen to a part of it and hear what you think.
Raindrops danced on the pavement around Julie, their rhythm a haunting melody that heightened the eerie atmosphere of her surroundings. She pushed herself to her feet, ignoring the sharp pain that shot through her body. Every part of her felt bruised and broken, but she couldn't remember how or why she ended up here. Trepidation pierced her chest as she stumbled forward, seeking solace from the engulfing darkness. The distant hum of traffic seemed like a lifeline, and she clung to it desperately as she navigated Manhattan's labyrinthine alleys. Memories flitted through Julie's mind like ghostly apparitions, taunting her with glimpses of a life that felt both familiar and foreign. A loving family, friends who brought joy and laughter. These images seemed like cruel illusions designed to torment her lost soul.
Oh wow, that's pretty good, right? I think this really shows off how this writer-editor synergy really puts this story on a higher level, because we always get feedback and we got this editor improving where the language might be a little generic, right? At least that's what I think. And another place I really see these autonomous AI agents could be in marketing. We can have these personalized experiences, so where the AI agents can leverage customer data to create highly personalized content. We have ad campaigns, so they can manage an entire ad campaign lifecycle from the creation, the monitoring, the optimization. And we have this content creation, of course. This is a big deal. These AI agents can really generate high quality content that is tailored specifically to the target audience. We can do sentiment analysis, so how the brand is perceived and how it addresses these concerns. And we have forecasting and planning, where AI agents can predict future consumer demands and market trends. So this is quite interesting. And I also wanted to look at some AI agents in finance. Of course, we have algorithmic trading. These are quite big already with the high frequency traders. So they have a big impact on the market already today, but can even have a more impact in the future. We just have to wait and see. So risk assessment, this is quite interesting. So could we have agents that will monitor real-time market condition and analyze financial risk on the fly, right? So I've seen some attempts of, they make this with the Whisper, they listen to like the Fed meetings, and on real time they try to analyze it and make market predictions. That's quite interesting. And we had fraud detection. That is also, they can prevent financial fraud and have security measures. We have personal finance. That could be like financial advice, automating budgeting, optimizing for investment portfolios. And they have regulatory compliance, of course, and automatic reporting to reduce errors. So I think this will make a big dent in the finance markets too. We saw that Bloomberg kind of trained their own LLM. That's quite interesting. If you have an AI agent that is trained on the data from that model, right? So if they have access to that model, that's quite interesting. So I'm gonna monitor this space. So what is my conclusion on this? So if we think about it, it's probably gonna transform a lot of different industries. It's going to reshape business landscapes and redefine job roles across various sectors, in my opinion, like making it essential to stay up to date and informed. And there will be a competitive edge here if you are an early adopter of these AI agents, can ensure that you stay ahead of the curve by capitalizing on AI-driven opportunities. We have personal and professional growth, so understanding how you can take advantage of these agents quite early can be a crucial adapting to the changing job market and enhancing your skill sets. So you can get into a really good position if you are an early adapter of this. Of course, enhanced productivity, that is going to happen anyway, but with AI agents that can automate this routine task, allowing for greater focus on like creativity and innovation, leading to these big increases in efficiency, right? And my final point is prepare for change. So of course this is basically the whole thing summed up. I think we are standing on the precipice of a big change in the world of work, in the world of how we do things. And I think these AI agents and basically every AI system is going to have a big impact in the next few years. Well, that's not an insane prediction, but I think some people are sleeping on these autonomous AI agents. I know like ChatGPT, of course, will have a big role, but if we can have these agents that can cooperate between themselves and they can write code, right, by themselves, that is not some human just using ChatGPT. That could be a whole different ball game, right? So I thought it was just an interesting topic, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be asking for some feedback on this structure and see what people think. But if you made it all the way here, thank you for watching, and yeah, see you again soon.